Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. We have roll call, please, Michelle.
Commissioner Bozak,
Here.
Commissioner Inslam,
Here.
Commissioner Loving,
Here.
Commissioner McCart.
Here. Approval of minutes from May 10th, 2023.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Inslam,
Yes.
Commissioner McCart,
Yes.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right, any reports from the commissioners? John, Brad, Nick? All righty. James, Clay, do you have anything?
No, I do.
I don't think we got anything from engineer, but nobody's online. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I submitted a written
We're
report
so far down there.
in here to the commission. But I'll just highlight over the last month, we've been focused on advancing Marquette Greenway. I attended the Indiana Department of Natural Resources Next Level Trails webinar last week. They have opened up the grant cycle and the project, the Marquette Greenway Phase 1B is a regional, would qualify under the regional trail section of that grant. So we'll talk about that a little later on the agenda. We have Matt Kaiser here with Ava Marsh to give an update a little later in the agenda on the RTP project, which is well underway, and an opportunity to advance the Phase 2 westward section of the trail. We are advancing Phase 1A. It is still under the NDOT contract review. The anticipated letting is still in July, but we'll know more about that in the coming weeks, whether or not that's the solid date or if it's pushed out. That concludes my report.
Thank you. All right, did we get any word on a school board representative?
I don't think so.
From there, do we have any correspondence?
No.
All right, Marquette Greenway update. You want to go to?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and
Okay.
introduce Matt Kaiser, if you could give us an update on the RTP project.
Sure, so if you've been by and seen, they did do the black topping about a week and a half ago. So all the hard surface is down. They also packed the sides. If you look, they did the 2 foot stone shoulders on both sides. They've placed some of the dirt spoils on the side for dressing up the project. I would say it's close to 97% done. Kim sent over an email today of a walkthrough that they did through. Was that with a representative of DNR or?
No, it was just a discussion with the owner.
Couple of areas that could be tagged for some safety concerns. So we want to go out there. We still need to do a final walkthrough with Reeve Riley to do a punch list. So those items will be picked up during the punch list. But I understand you want to get all forwarded and get this project closed out as soon as we can. So Reeve Riley's still on. I believe their end of date was the end of June, so when they were guaranteed to have the project finished by. So they'll be saying something pretty quick. There's going to be some maintenance on it. Once they get the seed down, the seed to germinate, putting it down in June is kind of tough. I mean, you never know what we're going to get. But we want to make sure that seed does take place and take hold and we get a good grass surface. So, but other than that, they're constructing one pretty quickly and have a lot of issues with the weather didn't conflict at all. The rain that we had yesterday is actually going to help. It'll wash out some areas that weren't properly compacted proper, and we'll have a chance to then address those during the walkthrough. So we want to wait for a cold washer to pick up problems.
gonna be practicing our long jump to get from one trail to the next.
That's.
Yes, and that would be the next item is phase two, the Westport segment. So if you just mentioned this, the centerpiece of these two bookends. To advance that project, you have received a copy of a proposal by Alba Marsh. This would cover assisting with any final design of the Westport section of the trail that was done under the Westport PUD process. Help assist the RDC with bidding and construction oversight of that section of trail.
All right,
So if you have any questions for Matt, he's available to answer those. If not,
I can give you just a real quick, just why you're seeing these fees. The Westport design included going over the public infrastructure of the roads. It included going in and working on the grading of the subdivision to tie in with the trail. So now that the subdivision is not occurring, we don't want to go in and put in 2.5 feet of fill to bring up the trail next to something that isn't going to be built next to it now. And also on the Westport drawings, we were crossing the roads at 90-degree angles where you know that the trail crosses at about a 40-degree angle through the site. So instead of having the trail come up and then cross at a 90 of a street that is no longer there, we need to remove that sections as well so that when the trail does get built, it'll be a nice lateral trail that runs along the pipeline. And we can adjust it if Westport ever does come online further. That reconfiguration won't have to fit what the original part of Westport was. Unfortunately, it's
unfortunate.
cart before horse before cart. The second part of it is the actual bidding documents that Tina alluded to. The way that the original project was done, we did the plans, we did specifications that were on the drawings, but Holiday Construction picked up all the parts that would need to be bid out appropriately, and that was going to be handled through the bonding process. Now that this is going to have to go through a public bidding process, we have to have construction documents, we have to have Form 96, insurance and bonds that meet state code. None of that work has been done for the Westport site, so that does have to be completely created to be able to bid this thing out. It will be over $150,000, so it does put us into the public bid where we actually have to go out for advertisements and request an open public bid process.
Anybody have any questions or anything?
Claire, are you good with this, specifically section 25?
Yeah, this appears to be similar agreements that we've entered into before.
That should be, that's the same contract that we used for the redevelopment construction administration.
Yeah, so these are essentially the same terms that we've used before.
Make a motion to authorize Roseanne to sign professional services agreement 23-0964.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Inslee,
Yes.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner McCart,
yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right, yay, moving along. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. New business. All right. The no excess assessed, those are two words that are weird next to each other. Value in its tax allocation areas for 2023 pay 2024. Clerk Treasurer Jordan sent a letter dated May 5th to the County Auditor Martin and to the RDC's overlapping taxing units pursuant to IC 36-7-14-39B4. The letter indicated that there is no excess assessed value that may be allocated for the overlapping taxing units for 2023 pay 2024. Under new business also, that's not on the agenda, but would like to talk about. So we've been working through and talking about these project lists for RDC. What are we gonna do now that Holiday is not working with us with the Westport? So it seems as though the #1 project priority, as far as the board has discussed, is that Prairie Duneland Trail Link. So what I guess we would be ready to move on tonight, if we're ready to talk about that, and that's what everybody wants to do. Then I think that we should entertain a motion for a request for proposal to get that process started. I think of the list of projects that we have, I think we're all in agreement that that's probably the biggest, best one that's going to benefit the most people in the town. Sticking with our connectivity minded projects that we're trying to stick with.
I'll make a motion to request proposals for that.
Engineering
Engineering
services.
service. Oh, I'm sorry, for the engineering services.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Insland,
Yes.
Commissioner McClure,
Yes.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right, and our #2 project on our project list is the Marquette Greenway Phase 1B. So what we're, Tina was talking earlier about a grant that's coming up that we would like to show interest in, and I can't find the words right now because my brain is mushy today. That we would like to apply for, there's the word, for next level trails. And we want to partner with Porter on this to help us with the Porter access that's back there. So what we need to do today is to authorize, if this is the direction that the board would like to go, is to authorize that partnership with the town of Porter. To authorize up to $2 million in local match for the Phase 1B. And authorize Tina to prepare the grant for us. And to get an RFP for engineering and construction management if needed for the grant purposes. It is a grant that's due not tomorrow, but soon, so we don't want to waste too much time and miss out on that. So if that's a direction that we're all wanting to move, I will entertain any conversation about it. Tina?
Just one point of clarification, the partnership would be with the town of Burns Harbor and the town of Porter. That collaboration strengthens the scoring for both communities in the Next Level Trails program. The 2 million would just be to cover the Burns Harbor match to the grant, and there is a benefit of being over at or above 31% match, because if you match over the 20%, your score is weighted more favorably. So that 2 million, that authorization of up to 2 million is just Burns Harbor's commitment to their portion of the project. The project right now is roughly estimated to the total cost to be roughly about 6.2 million. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Tina.
Just one question, so we can make the motion to do this and proceed, but if the partnership is gonna be between the town of Burns Harbor and the town of Porter, do we need to talk about this in an hour or two? We can't make an agreement on behalf of the town.
My understanding of the grant is that, and I'm getting clarification from the state, is that both communities will have to submit their own application, but cross-reference one another. So, so I think it would be okay to authorize that approach the partnership approach here and then also repeat that at town council for that.
Where's the fund, is the RDC funding this, so I think that you can approve it to the. As Tina described, it certainly to the extent that funding is coming from this body.
And we are in the process of scheduling a meeting with President Bozak and town quarter officials to make introductions and talk about the approach.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we apply for the Next Level Trails grant in conjunction with Porter. And then we authorize the partnership in the amount of 2 million local match. And then we authorize Tina to prepare the grant. And that the request for proposal is going to be for engineering and construction management.
Second. Any discussion? Do we need to put if needed for the engineering and construction?
If as needed.
As, okay.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner
We're gonna write
Loving,
all that.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner McCarty,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. Yay, we're moving on from that. Super exciting stuff.
You got money now?
All right, approval of the claims register.
I make a motion to approve.
Second. I just want to give someone else an opportunity.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner McCarty,
Yes.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. Approval of financial report for the month of May 2023.
So second.
Gotta be fast, Brad.
Thank you.
No.
Okay, so who did what then?
What's that?
Who did what?
I second.
Okay,
Second.
okay.
No thanks.
All right, go to the order. Anybody have anything that you would like to discuss? Oh, roll call. Yeah.
Commissioner McCarty,
Yes.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. Now, go to the order. Does anybody have anything? Oh, I know what we need to talk about. Okay, so there is a possibility that there will be discussion this evening's town council meeting in regard to the ambulance. So I would like to know how you guys feel or what your thoughts are. If the town council decides to shut down the ambulance, would the RDC be willing to fund the last 30 days of the ambulance to give the fire department enough time to shut everything down and the employees a fair amount of time to look for other work if this is the direction that town council decides to go? I do not have that number in front of me. Because Jane always knows it off the top of her head what that monthly cost is. But I just figured that I would ask the board here how they felt about that, because we're here first. Any thoughts or discussion on that?
I definitely think we should extend it for 30 days, but that the town should pay for it, the RDC.
That's fine. It was just an idea, so if nobody wants to make any movement on it, then nobody wants to make any movement.
Well. I think the town should pay for the 30 days. If that's what they choose to do. I do not think the RDC should spend any more money on the ambulance service. We've gone well over above and beyond. But the town didn't know that this moment was coming.
Mhm.
And, should have planned accordingly if they knew the termination was coming up, and the possibility of the termination was coming up. And budgeted that. So no, I don't think, and I don't like saying that. I wish I had a magic wand that could make the ambulance service viable, but I can't. And I can't justify any more RDC funds for it.
Okay. Right, anybody else have anything? If not, then, does anybody else have anything?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Loving,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner McCarr,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes.